Today I'm going to be tackling a job I've been putting off for some time on the Volvo V70, and it's basically relevant to any Volvo on the P2 chassis. You can see with the window here, basically it's stuck a few times while I've been operating it, even though it goes down perfectly well. And just cast your eye there, as we go up it's a different story, and can really feel the motor straining. I've had to help it on occasion. So I've got these window sliding blocks, and I fully intend to fit these today. So the first thing is to remove the door card. So that will give me an opportunity to use these plastic tools I purchased some time ago. So we're going to go in. There's 3 little tangs there. That came off very easily. You can see 1, 2, 3, and we've got all 3 on the corresponding part, so that's really good news. And the next stage is to remove this. This actually comes apart, believe it or not. There's a little gap there in the seam. You can get a tool in to take that off. I've just got a tool in there just to pry it open, and we'll have another go. You can't actually use a screwdriver, but it could save marking your plastics. I'll just keep working at that. Give that a wiggle, and out it comes. It's pretty painless. So in here we've got some Torx screws, 2 of, and they're actually T25. That's a T25 Torx bit I've got in there. And they've needed a bit of a tap on the door to get them out, but we got there in the end. So I'm going to turn the ignition on, and we're going to lower the window to 50%. See if this works. That's about 50%. I'll turn the ignition off in the interest of safety. So now we've got 8 of these push pins at different points of the door. There's 2 on the right side, and then 3 underneath. And then on the left side there are 3. And strangely enough, or conveniently enough, the T25 Torx is a perfect fit to push the pins down to facilitate removal. So with all the pins popped, just give the door card a pull towards you, and you'll find that you'll get some dropping off on the floor, so just retrieve them and be careful not to lose them. So then we should be able to, there'll be a little lip here, we should just be able to lift the door card up, and out it comes. Just unhook it from the button there, the locking button. We've now got a few wires to disconnect. This one's for the little tweeter, so I'll just push on the tab and give it a wiggle out. And then the cable for the door release. It's that there. Just pull on this end, and the whole lot comes out, and that's quite a good design. And then we've got down here a couple of switches. Push on the tab and pull. It's quite fiddly one-handed. We're going to persist. Then we can move the door card out of the way and get to the business end. Now, it looks like somebody's definitely been in here before and probably made a mess, I'd consider. That is a mess. So what I would have done, given the opportunity, is that I just got a knife and gone round all this very carefully and just peeled it back. But we're just going to move these out of the way for now. if your window's in the wrong position, you're going to have to plug these back in and adjust it via the control panel. Assuming you're working on the driver's door, if you're working on the passenger door, you've got a bit of an advantage as the switch will still be in place. So we'll move on to the other side and remove this. This will give us access to the tricky side, which I'm not particularly looking forward to. You can see the blocks in there. I think it's probably the second time this job's been done on this car, I'm guessing. And now we're going to remove the clip. And I've chosen to use some pliers, snipe nose, just so I get a firm grip of it. Just give it a wiggle. What I don't want to do is drop the clip. There, that's free now. And then this arm should just pop out like so. So we've slid the old block out and it doesn't look too bad apart from a bit of damage to the top. But we've got a golden opportunity for a bit of cleaning and then re-greasing in this very channel. So I've gave the channel a rough clean with a rag and a bit of WD-40. And we've got this new slider block at the ready. So I'm going to use a bit of lithium grease. There are many things you could use, but the idea being we prevent the wear from the new slider block. We reduce it to the point where we gain a little longevity. As this is relatively a dust-free area, I'm quite comfortable using grease. So I've loaded up the back and the sides of the new slider block with grease, and you do actually have to shuffle these in like so. And then we notice we've got the clip pointing out, and it does pay to do one of these at once. You don't want to be disassembling both sides because it will hold the window steady, just one at a time. You can see the window's moving at that. And I should in theory be able to push this in. One good push and it's gone. No tools required. So now we'll move on to the other side. So yeah, comparatively working in a smaller space. What's known jokingly as a mouse's ear hole. I think it still can be done. I'm just going to snip this zip tie just to get this out of the way, because I think it's difficult enough as is, and it's very easy to replace. Let's give us a little bit more room. Yeah, I think I can comfortably do it. So we'll get the snipe nose pliers in. Remove the pin. So I'll just try a bit of force along its length with my hand just to pull it off. And that gave up quite nicely. Then we'll slide the block out. And reconstruct in the same manner. So I've cleaned the rail, greased the slider block, and now all we have to do is put this in. This window here, it will actually flop down while you're working on it, so you do have to keep lifting it back up in position to keep everything level. And it looks like I'm slightly out of alignment with that. Just drop the window down slightly. And I think I'm going to struggle doing it left-handed. That's all I seem to have. See if we can just push it in. No, it's not having it. So I've positioned a pry bar just against it. And the theory is one good push and we should be in. So we'll see how that works out. Yep, and it's gone in. So I'm really pleased with that. So now it's time for testing and then rebuild. Now we need to refit the door card in order to test this window. I think I'll fully connect everything in the hope that all is good. So we need to hook the door card over this ledge here once we've got everything connected. That's the tweeter, the door handle remote. It's clicked in quite nicely. A couple of connectors. We're just going to hook over that for the now. Align the button correctly, do that first, and the rest should just hook in like so. Just reinstate that bit of trim. Okay, before we clip it together, it's time for a little test. That's running a little bit better and smoother, I do believe. Strange thing is, it does waver. Well, the window's now working, and I didn't quite get the result I was hoping for. I think the mechanism may be a little bit bent, but needless to say, it does go up and down a little better. So all what's left to do is push these pins back in. You just need to adjust them so that the top's there. So we'll just gently push these back in and work his way around the door. So that's all the trim put back together, and the window goes down absolutely great, but it's something amiss when it goes back up. But the good news is it can go back up unaided. So many thanks for watching, and why not subscribe to learn of more low cost repair solutions.